Hi guys, welcome to the Design Startup Show. Today, I would like to talk about how we can start a design business that you can scale by productizing your services. So essentially it's how you can productize your design service business. So first and foremost, what does it mean to scale? When you think about scaling, is it talking about just earning a lot of money? Are you talking about having a lot of clients? Are you talking about being global? So you got to decide on that on your own for yourself, what it means to scale. Um, and to me, I would think that it's more of being able for it to run, the service to run without being in it myself. So I can remove myself, I can kind of run the business and have as many customers as I want to work with without me being in it at all the time. So if I were to be in it for just a few hours a week or not at all, and I can have as many customers as I want, relying maybe on either hiring or automation, and they can still be fulfilled with my business promises. I feel that that is scaling to me. So you gotta first decide on that, put it down, and make sure you remember that. And the next thing would be, how much do you want to scale? So at first you are talking about scaling, but after that, how much would is enough, right? So you got to decide on your scaling level, your revenue, your income, so that it's not just paying your bills. You should be able to pay your bills after you have grown. You have enough profit to invest and do other things. Um, and that's when you can start scaling, because you can start investing in things like hiring and automation to run your business. So how much is that? You got to decide. So for me, my plan is within this next 10 years, I will be able to build an asset, a business where it not only just running on its own, but I can have the profits where it gives me at least $250,000 in residual passive income every year. So this is what I set for myself, to give myself that number that I can reach towards, right? So that's my goal in 5 to 10 years time from now. So decide on that for yourself, decide on that number, so that there is something for you to work towards, rather than thinking it can be as much as you want and nothing is enough. No, we got to set that number for us to feel that it's enough. That's when we are able to motivate ourselves, if along the way, right? Rather than thinking that it's way too high and way too above us. But we have that number to set us, to know how many customers to bring in, to know how much we must work per day. And this can give us a better guide, right? Along the way. The third thing is to check on demand. So you have this design service. For example, you want to design, or you have been designing logos for customers. So if, let's say, you are just starting out and you want to know if, let's say, you have been designing logos and you want to keep kind of make this logo a black and white logo, for example. So your productized service is such that you package it to be just black and white logos that only have three design options, and say one revision. For example, this is just an example, right? You got to check if there are enough people with this problem of creating black and white logos for you to reach your level of skill. Okay, so now you have decided your level of skill, your goals, your income level, your revenue level. Then you need to check if, are there enough people in this world to use your service, pay you this much, and you can reach that level of revenue, income, and all that with these demands, right? So I've made this big mistake where I focus too much on the solution rather than the problem. So this point here is to tell you to hone in on the problems that people have, and then see how many people have this same problem. And if you are going to serve these people, will they meet the expectation that you have in the first and second point on the scaling level? Okay. So if you start with the solution first, for example, if you say, oh yeah, I'm great at making logos, I'm great making black and white logos, I shall just do that and sell it. So that was the mistake I made in the first place. And just made me keep thinking that what I'm creating is so awesome, right? And I just fell in love with my own solution. So, so that may not be what people are compelled to pay for. It may sound good. It may sound good to my friends. It may sound good to your friends, right? And your friends may say that, hey, that's a good idea. You should just sell it. You're so good at that. But will others who don't know you want, firstly, to pay that to kind of solve their daily frustration? Are they, are there enough of these people to even pay for that too, right? And And after that, you got to understand whether if this problem is something that's repeatable, right? When it comes to logo design, is it something that one customer needs it all the time? Is it something that many customers need it many times? So if your level of scaling is say 100 customers every month, let's say, I mean, you may never know, but this is just an arbitrary number. You may want to have 100 customers a month and earn a certain goal of say $10,000 a month. I mean, this is just an example. Do you think you will have enough um, customers who have this problem of logo creation that they have to come to you and you know keep on doing that every month, and there are hundreds of them doing this every month and paying you enough so that you can reach 10,000 a month? So you need to ask yourself that. So there may be not, but you need to find out, right? So it can be logos, it can be infographics, it can be designing email templates, it can be designing everything. So for me is, I'm running this graphic design service business where I offer as many design revisions as you want in a month. So it's a flat rate design service where people don't pay based on the kind of design. People don't pay based on the number of revisions in the design or number of options, but they just pay by month. And we just churn out the designs for them as and when they need them. So that's a recurring one that I found out is because whenever I work with clients, they always have tons of revisions, right? And charging them can make them go crazy because they wouldn't know how many revisions they need. They can't budget for it. So having this model that I have give them that that control, and it empowers them with the budget that they need to set aside every year. So it's standard, right? If each month they just have to pay 500, they know each year it's how $6,000. That's it for design, and that's nothing more, nothing less. So this is the problem that I'm solving. The problem I'm solving is it's quite a few. It's like the budget, the revision costs, the the varying surprises that they get in each invoices from designers. So, as a designer, you wouldn't want to keep thinking of your design and fall in love with your design and think that, oh, my work is so good that they need to have my work. You got to get out of that first and look into problems that people are having first. And one problem is good. The next step is to go into, are there many people with that same problem? At the back of your mind, with that in mind, then you work with one person, back down to one person, all right, just to get your solutions clear, that it's your solution is something that they want. The next point is to then, because you have that demand in mind, you decide on your offer, which is your deliverables, right? So you go through your research and you realize, hey, no, 10,000 people from this group that I have researched from say that they want black and white logo designs, and they will want to kind of make changes on them every month, due to certain reasons. We don't know why, but you got to find out, your offer, your the problem that your people have, where you can offer that solution to. So now that you have known that, you will decide on the item to deliver, which is black and white logos and revisions every month, right? So the next thing is just going to predefine that. With that offer, with the deliverables, you are clear, right, on what they are getting, what the customers on their end will receive every month. You put that as a fixed item package, okay, and narrow down all your services to only help those with this one problem that people are having. For example, it could be Shopify blog images for beauty products. So in this sense, what people are receiving, these people will be beauty product sellers, for example, right? So they're e-commerce people and they sell beauty products, for example, beauty, let's say, lipsticks, okay? Just lipsticks, they just sell that. So you can, kind of design blog images for these lipstick companies, and your blog images will have um, women or men or anyone who use these lipsticks, correct? And that will tailor to these people who sell lipsticks, and that's it. So if people who come with you and say that I sell eyeshadow, I want to create eyeshadow blog images. If you are only selling lipsticks and you want to stick with that due to the reason that it's easier to design and package, then you stick with your lipstick design, and you will tell the eyeshadow seller that no, I only design lipstick blog images, for example. All right, but if of course if you put it as a beauty product, put yourself as beauty product designer, then yes, if it's eyeshadow product, you will also do it for them. But the point is, you craft one solution for one problem and for one person first. Yeah. At the back of your mind, you know that there are probably millions and billions of e-commerce sellers selling beauty products, but you just base your package based on one person's issues first, their problems and challenges first. So you can kind of speak with one beauty product seller and ask, hey, um, what kind of design work do you usually need all the time? Like, every time, like daily, monthly, and without stopping, and you have to pay a certain price that sometimes you don't really wish to pay for. So the person may say, hey, I just need blog images every time because every day I produce one blog image, and I do beauty products. So my blog images have to tailor towards people who want beauty products. And there you go. You have, one person with a problem, and you craft a solution to solve that. So this is your offer, right? Your deliverable will be 5 blog images each week with beauty product or beauty related graphics that you've created for their blogs. And that's it. And that is your deliverable for a certain fixed fee. It could be $20 a week. It can be $300 a month. You can fix it as that. Or you can fix it as 50 blog images for $50, for example. And that's it. So if they ask for more, ask for less, uh, you can tweak along the way when you have created your packages, and move along the way from there. But you start with one first, right? Then the next thing is you will have to decide on how you run your operations with unlimited capacity in mind. So you gotta go abundant here, right? You shouldn't be thinking on how am I gonna do this because I'm only a one man show and I can't handle all of this 50 graphics for 5 million people. You may think like that. And that was how I thought about in the past. And I had this limited belief that I can only work with a few clients in a day. And that really, kind of put me down a lot more than I could have, because it tells me that, hey, I can't do so much more. So I just, subconsciously make myself do less, right? And work with less. But you got to go abundant here to first start thinking and designing the operations to be able to help as many people as you want. All right. First thing first, you are not going to do the work on your own anymore. All right. You're going to set up a process to complete your deliverables to match your offer's promise. So ask yourself, if I have 100 customers with that same exact problem, what do I do to provide them the solution that I've promised? So you promised that you'll give 50 blog images designed to this first customer at the end of the week. And imagine you have 1,000 or 100 or 1,000 or 1 million customers coming to you, and you got to deliver that 50 times whatever number of customers you have in 5 days. How are you going to do that, right? So now it's just a rough number. It's not there yet, but you have to make it and design it such that this can happen, and your operations must match this capacity. So you need to decide: will I hire manpower on demand, or will I use tech and automation? Or will I use both, right? Will I use AI and manpower, or one of each? So you got to decide right now. At the end of the day, how do these operations in your company run first without even doing anything yet? Okay, so decide how many customers to one designer. So one designer, how many customers can they work a day? You set that. For example, for us, we have tried different things, like a designer to work with 8 customers a day, 12 customers a day, 5 customers a day, and for about 1 hour a day per customer, for about 2 hours a day per customer, and we see how that goes. And that's fine, because there are many, many designers who want to have a stable job and to work with us. So if they wish to work as a hired full-time in-house employee, we are happy to take them. So these are people we work with who are willing to work with 8 customers a day, 9 to 6 p.m., and then they're off and they'll come back the next day, right? All working remotely. So this is what I have decided to do, and that is what we are doing now. It could be the same for you, or it could be something else. You can say, oh, I will have 2 senior designers to kind of manage them, and there will be AI at the back end to help producing certain logo concepts, and customers will look at them and feedback, things like that. You can create those, and just to ensure right from the start that you can serve 1 million people if you add on these manpower. Okay, so that is much important now, so that you won't get into too much day-to-day operations after this. Then you have to set up the communication and deliverable channels, right? For example, on my end, we have the email only selection or plan, okay, or the project management tool. And we have another plan where people can have calls with us and real-time chat. So why design this now is because you already know what is required as a design freelancer, as a design agency, as somebody who handles design work. You know what is required. You know that, in collaboration, your customers may come to you and ask for some concepts, or ask for revisions, or explain to you the brief and things like that. Do they need to explain a lot? Do they need to only just pass you some assets and images? What is the collaboration involved? Do you need only email, or do you need certain form of other uh, deeper way of communication? Do you need to even meet up in person? Do you need to use video? Right? So for us, we wouldn't want to meet up in person. It would be harder to scale. it's not impossible. It may be something that you want to put into your operations if there is demand, right? It's hard to tell. So it really depends on how your design service is like, and it's going to be to solve a certain problem, right? So for us, it's not, and it will be fully remote for now at least. And I can easily serve 100 customers, 1,000 customers, so long they want to work with me. Um, so you need to decide on that right now. After you've decided on that, you will move on to your organizational chart. What is an organizational chart? It is that formal table where you see different hierarchy of employees or hierarchy of members in your team. You don't need many levels. You just need to set the levels for yourself where you can easily scale. So for mine, I started off with CEO, CFO, and CMO, where they come down to the key people of daily tasks like project managers, senior designers, um, and then down to junior designers. All we need at the start is pretty much junior designers. But I designed my organizational chart to grow. So if right at the start, when you're doing this, you may be doing everything, which I did. So I was a CEO, I was a little bit of a CFO while my husband kind of helped me along the way. I was also the CMO. I was also the project manager. I was also the junior designer. So I was everything at the start because I had to design it first and make sure that things run well before I hire another designer, right? After I ran for with a few customers, I realized I could hire and relieve myself of that day-to-day design work. That's when I started to have more designers. And you can see the org chart starting to be filled with other people in the team. So design this first, okay? Right from the start with the rest, other points before this. So you got to, in this organizational chart is really to, decide on the roles so that in future you know who to hire. You can also put in the costs and price and all the hiring fees in your projection with this organizational chart. Then you don't have to worry, right? Whether along the way will you incur too much cost and not be profitable. All right. In this plan, if you follow, it will be profitable. All right, because the next thing, the next point after this organizational chart is about financial projections. That's when you create an Excel sheet, okay, or a Google sheet to key in all the costs you think are possible to reach that level of scale that you want to go to. So the first and second point of putting out the level of where you want to go is very important because now you're talking about the cost. And how much do you need to put in to get what you want, right? So you need to know what you want first to know how much cost to fork out, right? So now you put down all the costs of hiring, of tools, anything that's considered a business expense, even your salary and your taxes, right? All in this Google sheet to project what is going to happen 10 months down the road, 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road. Will you be profitable? You use this to fit in all these costs to know. Okay? Then, because you have this projection, you can tweak your pricing of your packages, right? With all the costs, you can say, okay, if I put in $1,000 for my logos per week, if I charge people $1,000 per week for 50 logos, will I be profitable in, say, 5 months down the road, 10 months down the road? I may not be profitable today. I may not be profitable tomorrow because I have to hire, right? That's fine. But with your projection sheet, it can tell you 10 months down the road or even just quick 3 months down the road, you may start to be profiting if you are bringing in enough customers, right? So use that financial projection sheet to help you. And with that projection, the next thing is to create a self-serve website where people can see what is your offer, your FAQs, and they can also make the payments right there. Because now you're ready with your offer, you're ready with your pricing, and you're ready that if if 100 people are to order in the next few months, you know your operations have been designed to support that. Okay, so within this, so you can just create this website and it's self-serve, meaning people can, without you, they can go in, click and make payment, and they get started right there. So you got to design what happens after payment is made, which is your onboarding. And you can also make automated emails to be sent to them. And you can tell them through these emails what you need from them without even you being involved in it, right? Because you've already done that upfront. So you do the work upfront, and 100 people can come in. You don't have to do 100 times. Previously, in what I was doing, my design freelancing work, I had to, for every customer, they want different things. So when they want different things, I have to talk to different customers 100 times, right? Let's say if I have 100 customers, I have to meet them 100 times, and they tell me 100 different things, and I have to create 100 different invoices, 100 different proposals, and get rejected like 100 over 1,000 times, right? So that is over when you productize your services. So when you kind of onboard them, here's where your operation processes come in, right? So whatever that you have designed in the previous points, right, where before I mentioned on operation processes, this is where they will be seen, right? Your operations will be seen up to delivering your customers' wishes. All right, and next point, which is the ninth point, is ninth or 10th point. Yeah, you set up your recruitment and hiring process. Look, we can never really do this alone, unless there are robots and super robust AI to help you with that. You can build that AI process. It's not impossible. It's just you need to understand your customers' problems, and if the AI can solve that, I think that works fine. If they need some people to be involved, then you need to hire, and that has to happen. So what happens when you have an incoming customer, but all your designers have too many customers in your hands? So you don't want to burn them out and affect their work quality. So you need to preempt that and know where to look for new designers to help incoming customers. So decide on what kind of designers you're looking for based on your offer. So let's say your offer is to kind of design logos or infographics, then you need to look for designers who can do them, right? So once you have decided on logo designers, okay, people who can help you with the logo designs, how do you recruit them? Do you go to Facebook groups to find them? Do you go to recruitment agencies? So you have to decide, where can you find the best designers to support you in your kind of work that you want to deliver. So for us, we have a few stages to test them. We can actually recruit from mostly anywhere. We can recruit from Facebook groups. We can recruit from anyone who comes to us and ask us if is it fine for them to join us. What we will do is we'll send them first a test, right? So these are tests where they have to complete them in like 2 hours. So I purposely designed the test to make it slightly more challenging than usual. It's not meant for them to completely finish, but it's more to see their aptitude of working through the test. It's not so much of coming up with great ideas or creativity, but it's a lot on the balance between the time that they can complete, as well as how they follow the brief, plus a bit of that quality. Because I don't expect them to do something super good in such a short time. It's not that. We are not testing on that. But it does have to have that bit of effort, right? So this is what I'm testing. And there are some designers who didn't get that, and they did not follow the brief, and they did not want to complete, and they would just email me and say that the time is too short for good work, and they refuse to do that. that's fine. It's, that then they are not a fit, or we are not a good fit for one another. They may be good designers, but it's just not the ones for us. My point is, you got to decide who is for you, right? And then craft this and design this recruitment process so that you know where to find them, and you know what to test them, and you know what you want from them, right? So decide that criteria and go with that. Okay? So you need to know first your audience, and then your hiring process, and your criteria, so that you will get the right designers for the clients that you're working with. The last point, number 10, which is it's the last one, is to create a marketing and sales process. Okay, because you have all these things designed, then you need customers, right? But right from the start, you have already validated, you have already researched, you already did some kind of test, or checked with them, or even spoken with them to see if that is something that they want, and you can preempt or figure out or kind of know that hundreds and thousands of customers will come to you every year or every month. Then this is a time to create your sales process where you can promote your offer, where you can kind of sound out in a way to get people to know more about you, to trust you, and to eventually work with you. So after doing all the steps from 1 to 9, with your confidence in your operations, now you're able to support your customers if they were to increase in numbers along the way. Right from the start, you may not have 100, but I mean, it's good news, right? If you have 100 right from the start. But of course, it's not something that seems, like it's possible right from the start. But if there is, if you really get 100 customers right from the start, it's good, and your operations are already designed that way. Go for it, right? And it can go up to 1,000. It can go up to as many as you want, because you can go through all the processes and whatever that you have designed, as mentioned in the points above. You are ready for more customers, so no problem with that. So this is when you start growing your customer base, you start growing your team and employees, and you start scaling your business. Right, so now go do it. So see you all in the next one. Take care. Gotta go. Bye.